just about to New Philadelphia, will now be able to reach and get a good quality signal from this new piece of apparatus. This is an investment that Cleveland 19 and Gray Media, our media partners, our owners, have made in Northeast Ohio to make sure that our reach and the information that gets out from Cleveland 19, the news, the weather, the breaking news, the severe weather coverage, can get to everyone in Northeast Ohio when it is needed most. Now again, talk about delicate work. Kind of looks like threading a needle as the new equipment, the new antenna, makes its way. You can see the crew members waiting at the top, waiting to accept it. A little bit of movement out of the antenna, a little bit left, right, but again, that pilot making easy work of what cannot be an easy job. You've got to make sure that antenna doesn't start swaying wildly, depending on the wind that's out there, the wind that's being produced by the helicopter itself. He's keeping it pretty steady, and all he has to do is to deliver it to the top of that 900-foot tower. Very fragile work being done here. This is really, really impressive. I can't say how truly impressed I am by this. To keep that thing steady, hanging from one cable. I've seen the base of that. I was out there on Tuesday. It's only about 3 feet. And you can see he was reaching for a guide wire. He's got a hold of one. That'll be threaded through that hole in the middle. There's the second one being threaded through, and that will help the helicopter guide this into place. Do we have contact? Let's see. And it looks like we have contact. And you see him put in the bolts. He reached forward, he shoved down a bolt. The bolts in question are about 4 or 5 inches wide. That's how thick they are. But there's one last piece that has to be done. Once they get it bolted in place, you'll see one crew member, he's going to have to climb to the top and disconnect the helicopter. Just reminded by one of our photographers, Marty Deschamps, that the reason we have been able to remain on air throughout this entire process is we've transferred our antenna to another location. And you can see that worker, he is already clipped into those pegs that I was talking about earlier, those metal pegs that were sticking out of the side. He is already clipped in, and he is just getting word on when he can move to the top. He's going to disconnect from the bottom, and he will reconnect and make his way to the top to free that helicopter from the antenna. All extremely delicate work here, but the speed at which they have been able to pull this off has just been impressive. We've talked about light bulbs, the light bulb that's on the top of this, and that sometimes that has to be changed. I'd reckon that they've been able to replace this entire antenna in the time it would take some people to replace a light bulb. It has been extremely efficient. That crew member just waiting for word that it's officially attached before he can climb to the top and remove those wires, the guide wires from the top that are connected, that's connected to the helicopter. But the skill of that pilot, now having to hold that helicopter in place, you don't want to be pulling on the antenna, you don't want it moving back and forth. Just incredible work here, all the way around by this crew. And it looks like, is he making his way up? It does look like he is making his way now up those pegs, meaning the antenna is fully attached. We saw those metal pegs. We zoomed in on them earlier. Kevin doing a great job here. You can see tedious but safe. You have to disconnect one before you can connect the other, making sure that he is connected at all times as he makes his way to the top. Again, right now he's probably 940, 950 feet in the air. That's about the same height as Key Tower in downtown Cleveland, to put that in perspective. Have you ever been on the Millennium Force at Cedar Point? Yeah, the top of that is just 300 feet. So 3 times the height of Millennium Force. He's made his way to the top. They've given him a little slack so that he can detach those wires. There goes, looks like he's looking for a little more slack. Yep, he's telling him to come down, come down, come down. And there he is, he's detached. Really, really, really incredible, impressive work all the way around. A finely orchestrated ballet of monumental proportions, of gigantic proportions. Helicopter now going to make its way back to the parking lot as the crews will finish their work at the top. I believe a light bulb will have to be installed. And just securing all the wires and the connections that have to be made up there for that new antenna. Just absolutely incredible work by this team and this crew, ushering in a new era of signal for Cleveland 19, for CW 43, as the work now begins on making the connection. You see a little blue sky there too as the clouds break up. What an incredible day. And you see the helicopter making its way back to the parking lot. And we'll be able to take that shot. We should see the helicopter move into position here on our tower camera shot. Crews will make sure it lands safely, and there it comes at the top of our frame there, back towards the parking lot for a safe landing. And it is officially on the ground. What an operation. Absolutely fascinating to watch. Some of you, I'm sure, are fascinated. Some probably don't get it, don't see it. That's understandable. Again, this is a new era for Cleveland 19. That's why we're so excited about this. A brand new antenna being installed at the top of our 900-foot tower in Parma. This will allow our signal to reach more people, about 10% more. It's 3 times more powerful, meaning those of you who do get Cleveland 19 through an antenna should get a better picture once this is up and running. We expect it late July, early August. and that's great news. And as our chief engineer, Daniel Slent, said, this isn't just about getting TV, watching your favorite programs. This is about doing the job of Cleveland 19, getting you news, getting you weather in severe situations, in emergency situations, making sure our signal is clear, is strong, and is reaching all of Northeast Ohio. And thanks to the investment by Gray Television, by Cleveland 19, that will happen for years to come. We're going to wrap this up. Just an incredible process to watch live as it's happening. If we have any other breaking news, it'll be right here on our digital platforms. Watch out for our news at 11 o'clock, just a half an hour away on CW43. Then our noon news on Channel 19, where our Katie Tursek will have a live report from Parma and Padua High School. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a great day.
19 News is everywhere.